In Chichester, New Hampshire, among a sea of farmland, is a 72-acre animal sanctuary called Live and Let Live Farms. Run by Teresa Parody and a core group of volunteers, the farm is primarily a horse sanctuary with over 60 equines on the property. But perhaps the most outstanding member of the farm is a goose adequately named Crooked Bill. Crooked Bill was first discovered by Lori when the flockless bird found his way into her yard.
I woke up my door one morning, the dogs were barking, and I walked down there and there's this goose on the other side of the fence. As I'm getting closer, I'm looking, he's got this messed up bill. I'm thinking, oh my gosh, there's no way in heck you are going to make it through the winter. Like, okay, you're still here. By the time I get back from work, then we're gonna find a place for you to live.
Needless to say, when Lori arrived home from work, the injured goose was still there waiting.
So I came home, he's in my yard still. I cornered him, I grabbed him, and he lived in my basement for like a week until I could find a place for him. And that's when I got emotional.
Since Lori wasn't able to keep the goose herself, she worked tirelessly to find him a new home.
She was very worried about his fate. Apparently, she had been told by several people to let nature take its course. His beak was all mangled. He was not able to eat properly. And there wasn't really anything anybody could do. And she just couldn't give up on him.
After almost giving up hope, Lori came across Teresa at Live and Let Live Farms.
He's so precious, and he's such a love. And
Do you know if he can eat okay?
he can, as long as you put a deep dish.
Come on, buddy.
So I handed him over to Teresa, and he just like welcomed it all.
Without hesitation, Teresa contacted her volunteer vet, Wendy, to take a look at the young bird's misaligned beak.
Checking all his bones.
Once Wendy was able to give Crooked Bill a full exam, she found him to be very healthy, aside from the obvious, that is.
He's in really good shape. I'm really happy. It's just that beak. The way that Bill was injured is unknown. I don't think it was, a simple, he bumped into something. He was caught and he ripped himself free. It was something very desperate. So he needs to have a food source where he can scoop instead of pull, like he can't pull the grass and break it off. And I don't see that there's any pain there. With my exam, he doesn't indicate that beak is painful at all. It's scarred down.
And despite looking and eating differently from most geese, he's managed to etch himself a spot in the hearts of those tending to the farm.
Crooked Bill is a very unique individual. When he goes around the farm, if you watch him, you'll see he observes. He's always looking for something to do, always looking for somebody to do it with.
Crooked Bill is very nosy.
This curious behavior is common among Canada geese. Since they travel in flocks, they switch off being on the alert for predators while others are feeding. Crooked Bill is likely paying close attention to his surroundings to ensure no predators sneak onto the farm. Given that Canada geese are extremely social and monogamous, it wouldn't be long before Crooked Bill found himself a posse. But at this farm, birds of a different feather flock together. He sets his sights not on one, but 2 miniature horses at the sanctuary. And this unlikely threesome have been tight ever since.
Crooked Bill, Winnie Minnie, and Sassy have become the Three Musketeers.
Sassy and Winnie Minnie are 2 miniature horses at the Live and Let Live farm. And along with Bill, they are rarely without each other.
Geese don't look like the kinds of animals that are out to make friends. Certainly not friends with different species. And if we were going to try and find a friend for a goose, I don't think anybody would quickly say, oh, grab a horse. That's the ideal buddy for a goose.
When I saw that, the mini horses, I'm just like, you don't see that every day.
Of course, as with all the animals on the farm, both Sassy and Winnie Minnie didn't always have it so easy. Sassy was brought to the farm emaciated, having been neglected after her owners passed away. Her weight was brought back up, and now she has a real taste for scavenging.
The mini horse Sassy has a very strong personality and a very heavy food drive. The thing is if she's with her friends Winnie Minnie and Crooked Bill, she'll steal a grain dish from one of the big horses and the three share it.
15-year-old Winnie Minnie has been on the farm the longest of the three. She survived a dog attack, which left her unable to move as quickly as most horses, but Bill doesn't mind at all.
It just seems the two with the permanent injuries found each other. And Crooked Bill loves many of the other animals and they're his buddies, but him and Winnie Minnie are just the closest.
Before Bill came along, Winnie Minnie was always trying to keep up with Sassy. When the new bird arrived, he took a liking to the two of them.
He kind of followed the Minis around the farm a bit at a distance and watched them, and gradually he got closer and closer.
Winnie Minnie was able to make a friend she could keep up with.
Crooked Bill usually follows around and is the last one in a row of three when Sassy and Winnie Minnie and Crooked Bill go for a walk. Their bond just grew more and more through the summer and fall.
It was one winter night that convinced Teresa that there was something special happening at the farm.
I was really, really worried about, will Crooked Bill in this kind of weather know to get out of the weather with Winnie Minnie and Sassy? Is Bill in there? I looked in the stall, and Winnie was in the back, Sassy was in the front. Sassy was facing me. Where's Crooked Bill? Couldn't find him anywhere.
Teresa witnessed something remarkable.
Moved around a little bit, Sassy staying toward me. Then I see Crooked Bill hiding under Sassy's tail. I don't know if it was keeping warm, her way of protecting him out of the storm, but that's when I realized that their bond is like just amazing. She was keeping him under her tail, away from the weather, facing the door, and protecting him. He was under her tail, like you wouldn't even know he was there.
Similar to geese, miniature horses are known to be safety conscious. They even have the ability to see 350 degrees and have excellent night vision. As such, they make great sight animals, a job traditionally reserved for dogs.
It was just amazing. I just to this day can't even believe what I saw.
Winter came and went, but when spring arrived, Crooked Bill would scare the farm dwellers once more.
I was moving around the farm in the morning and heard the Canadian geese coming by, and they had been coming regularly through the week. This particular flock circled a lot. Crooked Bill would watch, would listen, but he didn't seem to have any interest in flying with them. On this one day with this one little group, though, he did actually take off and fly away with them. So, of course, my first thought was, goodbye, bud, and I wish him well, and not knowing what would happen to him was the sad part. Not knowing if he was going to be able to survive.
Would Sassy, Winnie Minnie, and everyone else at the farm see their goose again? On a rescue farm in Chichester, New Hampshire, resides a Canada goose named Crooked Bill and two miniature horses named Sassy and Winnie Minnie. Soon after arrival, Crooked Bill developed a bond with the two horses, but as his first spring approached, he flew up to join a flock of geese coming back from the south. Unsure of his return, witnesses began to say their goodbyes.
I just stood there and cried because I thought, okay, well, good luck, bud. For me, that was a sad and happy moment. Not knowing if he was going to come back was sad. Seeing him go with his relatives was happy.
After some tears and well-wishing, Anna continued her chores. Nobody expected what happened next. Crooked Bill returned to the farm as quickly as he had left.
When he came back, for me, I was happy to know that he was here, he was safe.
It'll be interesting to see what becomes of Crooked Bill. I mean, a goose, he ought to be migrating at some point in the year. Will he see his original flock flying past and feel the call of the geese and be off? Only time will tell.
Until then, everyone at the farm can enjoy the bond Crooked Bill has made with the miniature horses.
Crooked Bill realizes that he's got everything he needs right here, and his pals are here.
His family is Winnie, Minnie, and Sassy.
No one could ask for a better place or better friends than these horses. I mean, they love them back, you know?
I think this is home for Crooked Bill at this point. He knows that he's loved and appreciated here.
I was ecstatic. I'm like, this is the best place for him.